Hello, everyone. Welcome. Today is Tuesday, September 27th, 2022. I am Solid Blue Sister, and this is My Turn to Talk. Hey, Shelby, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Glad you are able to make it today. And I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. And it is a wonderful day out here in sunny Southern California, even though we're in another heat wave. You tickle me, Shelby. You tickle me. But I probably will, depending upon what you have to say for this show. Because I do want to know what you guys think, because I want to throw a couple of questions out there. Okay, let's see. I'm going to stop it here, and we'll let everybody else drift in. Okay, and for those joining over on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, thank you. Thank you. Next week, I will be pretty much everywhere streaming. Minnesota, welcome, welcome. So today I want to talk about minors and medical decisions. When should parents step back? When a child becomes a teenager or even before, should parents listen to what their child wants in terms of medical decisions? Should a minor be told the diagnosis? Who says the parents are always right? So that's what I want to talk about today, because, with divorce, and I would say probably within the last 10 years, maybe more, you have some judges, not all of them, but some judges or some courts who will pull the minors, to the side, away from mom and dad, away from the attorneys, and ask the children who they want to live with. They ask the children what their home life, was like. And I think that's a good thing. And from what I understand, some of those conversations with some of these children are getting younger. Before they would, probably ask a 12, 13-year-old, well, who do you want to live with? Now they're asking younger children. And I think that's a good thing. So when you flip it to the medical side, our parents, and this is where I go, where I said yesterday's show was going to kind of tie into this show. Do parents have a duty to tell their children their diagnosis? If their child is diagnosed with cancer, or if they're going to need an operation, surgery, whatever. If it's something that's going to, if it's something that's either life-changing, or even if it's not, if it's something simple, do parents have an obligation or duty to tell their child? And if so, why not? If you have a son that is playing football and he gets hurt, and the only way to repair his arm, leg, hip, whatever, is through surgery, but the surgery may keep him down for a couple of months, and he may not be able to go back to how he was, meaning that the surgery would affect him. Whereas if he didn't have surgery, it could, because we hear that sometimes, it could heal on its own. Um, and the most that your child would have to do is probably sit out probably about 2 weeks. What do you do? So those are my questions. Do you allow a child to have a say in their care? Do you allow this minor to have to have a say in what will affect their life? Because a surgery that you decide and you feel is going to help your child when he's 15 may affect him when he's 22. I mean, what do you do? So, anybody? Let's see. Minnesota says yes. Okay. I mean, I personally think that a child should have their say. Now, I understand that, if someone's 2 or whatever, welcome, crazy lady. I understand if a child is 2, 3 years old, 4, okay. But when a child, gets, children are not stupid. Even, your 7 and 8-year olds, they are aware of what is going on. And I also know that there are some parents who don't tell their children their diagnosis. Do you have a duty to tell your child that if your child is 12 years old and they have cancer, do you tell them, or do you just keep saying, oh, well, you may not be feeling well right now, you have to stay home from school? I mean, what do you do? Okay, Shelby says at a certain age, yes. Okay, so what is that age? Okay, and Crazy Lady says it depends upon the child. Okay, that's a good point. So what age would you say, hey, Brina, welcome. So what age would you say is a good age to let your, okay, like this, Shelby, are you saying it depends upon the age to tell your child the diagnosis, or it depends upon the age to let them have a say in their care? And I'm even going to, even though I don't want to, I am going to go there because COVID was such a hot issue. What about if, you didn't want your child to, and I'm gonna say your child is a teenager in high school. What if you didn't want your child to take the COVID vaccine, but they wanted it, or vice versa? You wanted them, to take it and they didn't. What do you do? Do you let your child make that decision? So let's see. Shelby says both. Okay. Yes, I did. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. So is there ever a point where, again, I go back to the surgery thing. And again, I'm going to say a teenager for right now, and I'm saying a teenager starting with 13. I'm going to go down that young. Your child needs surgery. It could help them. It may not. It's 50-50. You want your child to have the surgery. Your child doesn't. What do you do? Do you still say, okay, well, I'm the mom, I'm the dad, you're going to do it? Okay, Brina says yes. For example, my son is a diabetic. There's a device called Dexcom that he can wear on his body to avoid picking his finger. He doesn't like it, so I don't make him wear it. Okay, all right. So, Brina, so what would you do in terms of a surgery? Would you, make your child have surgery if they didn't want it, or vice versa, if they wanted a surgery and you didn't want them to have it? What would you do? And I'm asking everyone that. I'm asking Brina only because she made the comment about the Dexcom. Yes, I might if it's necessary after research. Okay, all right. But again, what if it was one of those things where, well, Brina, your son, it may work. It's a 85% chance that it'll be successful. Sometimes we see cases where it doesn't, or whatever. What would you do? And what if your child is like, no, 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 no? And what if your child, and let's just say, it's not even a case of whether or not the surgery would be successful. What if it was a case of your child had such a fear of having surgery? They were terrified. Well, welcome, D. Would you still push them to have this surgery? Would you try to placate? Oh, well, da 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 da. I mean, what would you do? Would you just put your foot down? You're having it. That's it. And then they go off to the, operating room, and that's it. Because I think that yes, at a certain age, children should have a say, and you should listen to what they have to say. Because one thing I have learned, and I do believe this is true with a lot of people, I don't have statistics on it. I don't know. I'm just saying what I think. I think that whatever decision you make for your child, no matter what it is, somewhere along the way, when they become an adult, that decision that you made is going to affect them. And in hindsight, if it was the wrong decision, you can say, I'm sorry, I wish I had known, or this, and this. I just think that decisions that we make for our children affects them, or could affect them somewhere along the way when they're an adult. Okay, Shelby says 13 under, yes, they will have the surgery. Okay, after research. Okay, all right. So, what do you do then if your child is just adamant they don't want it, or they're adamant that they do? You don't think that the surgery is the right way to go, and they think that it is, and they're doing their own research, and they're adamant yes, and you're adamant no. I mean, is it still what I say goes, or are you going to listen to your child? Are you going to find out why and seriously take it into consideration? Because for me, I would. Okay, get the doctor's recommendation. Okay, so the doctor is saying, I wouldn't have it because da 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 da. But if he did have it, or she did have it, then it could improve this. But at the same time, I mean, what do you do? And I'm going to throw another one out there, and I don't mean to offend anyone. What do you do if your child, and I have two things. What do you do if your daughter, at the age of, 15, 16, they want a breast augmentation, better known as a boob job? I mean, we've heard of those parents who do give, their children for their 16th birthday, they get boob jobs, and, nose jobs, and all these other things. Do you allow? Okay, I mean, I couldn't even get the question out. Do you allow that? Nope. No boob jobs. They're not even done developing. Yes, I totally agree. So, what about? Oh, Shelby's coming up here. She got something to say again, girl. This is 2 days in a row. Hey, Shelby, you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Um, I do not believe in going under the knife or plastic surgery.
Neither do I. I don't care if you're 10 or 100. I do not believe in it at all unless it was a medical procedure, like if you were burned or something like that. But just to do it out of vanity, no. So,
Right.
what do you? So, your daughter is jumping up and down, having a total hissy fit. You're just going to say, nope, 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 nope. That's it.
That's it. No, no. We are not having that.
Okay, so she's 18 years old. She has a little bit of money saved, and she goes and she does it without you knowing. You get pissed, but you really can't say anything, right?
That's right.
Okay, all right. So
And she knows I'll get pissed, but I can't do anything after after she's out of the house. I can't. But they both know or knew my position on that. That was not a necessity.
okay, all right. Now D says boob job is paid for the child, or I'm assuming you're saying by the child when they want one. Brina is agreeing. She can also have the longest hissy that she wants. Yes, I'll throw a hissy hissy fit party for her. What if the child needs breast reduction? That's a good question. So, you guys, what do you think? Shelby, what if your child needs breast reduction?
Now that's a different situation. Um, if it's like um, in a situation I have like if you're endowed and it's a situation to where it's causing back problems, then yes, I agree.
Okay, what if
Um,
it's not causing any problems? What if she just wants smaller breasts?
um, that would go under the wait till you're out of my house.
Okay, okay. What if
Only
she?
if it's a medical necessary situation would I allow it.
Okay, I'm gonna throw this at you. Now we know that some girls develop at a much earlier age. You see children in seventh and eighth grade who look like they're 20 in terms of breast and what have you. So,
Mhm.
what would you do if your child, for let's say from eighth grade on, relentlessly being teased because of their big breasts, and she is like begging you for a breast reduction? For me, I don't think ignore them is going to do it. I think that's kind of a crappy thing to tell a child at that point from what she's going through. Would you guys seriously consider it at that point?
Well, yeah, I if it's a situation to where she's, getting bullied at school.
Okay. Okay.
But it'd have to be it would just have to be a bad situation to where, I mean, if it's getting to the point to where she's wanting to, I don't know what you can
If
say on
she's
here,
wanting to
off
harm to
herself.
harm herself or something?
Yeah, if
But
it's
okay,
getting to that point.
so then my question is, why would it have to get to that point though? Why, if she wants a breast reduction because she's being teased and she's being bullied, why does it have to get to that point?
In our house, we taught to be proud of your body, no matter the situation, how you've grown, I don't know how to put it. No matter the situation because God made you and God doesn't make any mistakes. We are a Christian family. And I've always tried to teach my children that, I can't think of the word I'm trying to use, that oh goodness.
No, I mean, I understand. I totally understand what you're saying. Welcome, Juju, and welcome, Big. I totally understand what you're saying, but again, if your daughter is being teased and bullied,
Right.
does that does that kind of cancel out a little bit about being proud of your body type thing, especially because children
It
can,
does.
children
Yes.
can be cruel. To the point where children are taking their own lives because they are being bullied. So
Right.
so that's why I say, why does it have to get to that point? Because then my question is, and I know the show is going to take a different turn when I say this. So if your child harms himself, or try or commits suicide, or tries to, or does something, whatever, is it because the parents let it get to that point? So again, welcome. I'm sorry. Welcome, Juju. So why does it have to get to that point? If your child is being teased relentlessly because of her big breasts, and she's 13, um, when again, when does that? Why does it have to get to that point?
And well, I misspoke. Let's put it that way.
Well, no, I don't want you to feel that you misspoke, because I think a lot of other people probably think the same way you do. Welcome, Crazy Kyle. So
Maybe it's
and then Brina says, I agree with Shelby. It's kind of giving in to peer pressure.
right.
Then Dee says, shouldn't she get other counseling before breast reduction? Kids can be so mean. Standing up for yourself, starting early on, loving yourself is so important. That's probably bad parenting on the bully's part. Well, anytime you have a bully, I think that you do have the bad parenting. Hey, Shorty, welcome. The big breast girls should not have to bow to that. And Rita, I understand that, but I don't. But is it really giving way to peer pressure? And the reason why I say this is because I think that when you are young and you're bullied, and again, this is just what I think, and I think depending upon the level of being bullied, your child may or may not share that with you. They may not share it with anyone. And I think that when you go, and we were talking about this last week, you go to that class reunion, and that person who was bullying you because of your, big breasts, you're looking at them, you're still holding that animosity, and you may still not like your big breasts because of that bully. So I don't think it's necessarily giving into peer pressure, because one thing that I definitely think is bullies of today are not like they were 30 years ago. Kids today and bullies today are mean. They are mean. So again, why does it have to get to that point? If your child is coming home crying, mom, dad, they're talking about my breasts, my, this or that, my ears are too large, whatever. And you do see some children who's like, okay, for me personally, I probably would have had their ears pinned back, whatever. But why does it have to get to that point?
Now, if they're coming, if it's a situation of they're already coming home crying, then we would look at the situation better.
Okay.
Some children don't like I have a daughter that's very strong-willed. She does not cry in front of anybody. She has a spot in her closet. She runs to that spot in her closet, and that's where she cries. She will not cry in front of anybody to save nothing. So, that's why I said if it comes to that, but now that child that she will definitely come to me and say, "Hey, look, this is what's going on, and this is why I want as soon as I come home, I go to my room and I don't say nothing to nobody." She will eventually come to me, but she, like I said, she will not cry in front of anyone. So, but I mean, if that child was to come to me and say, "Hey, look, I am getting bullied at school. This is what's going on. This is what they've said," or even if they're getting bullied at home by cyberbullying, you know, I say, we can look at the situation different. But, certain children do certain things. Not every child react the same way.
That's true. That is very true. Now, Crazy Kyle says all kids are mean. I had to overcome with proper parenting. Okay, Kyle, I'm reading your statement two different ways. Are you saying that you had to overcome with your children, with you having to adjust to proper parenting, or your parents had to have proper parenting? So if you can clarify that for me. And let's see, everyone, thank you all for liking the show. Okay, Crazy Cow says, in my house, figuring things out and gonna lift weights. Okay. Okay, I was guided by my parents. Okay. I mean, because back in the day, it was, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. But again, I personally think that words do. So it's interesting that you guys are saying that if a child wanted breast reduction surgery, that you guys would consider that. Now, what if your daughter, your daughter again, is coming home and she's teased because she's flat chested, and they're relentless and she's crying, whatever. She wants to have breast augmentation, a boob job. Is that different? Is that different from wanting a breast reduction?
Yeah, way different.
Okay, so but again, your daughter is coming home. She's crying. She's being teased relentlessly. It is the same situation, just different in terms of one is being teased because of big boobs, another one is being teased because they are flat chested. What do you do? I mean, you see your daughter going out every day, with these padded bras and sticking tissue, in her bra. I mean, seriously. I mean, what is the difference? I mean,
that's my reaction. Stuff, baby stuff.
But do you tend to shrug it off because one person's flat chest as opposed to a breast reduction? I mean, okay, Shelby, I'm about to put you on the spot. You said this when you came on today. I am about to put you on the spot. Your two daughters.
Mm-hmm.
I've never met your daughters. I've never seen them, so I'm just throwing this out there. No offense. One is endowed. The other one is not. They are both 16 years old. One of them is saying, and they're both being bullied. One is being bullied because she has very big breasts and she wants a breast reduction. She's coming home crying. The other person, your other daughter, she is coming home crying because she is flat chested. I mean, and we have seen, there are women that we see now, 40, 50 years old, who just did not develop breasts, okay, for whatever reason. Both your daughters are going through the same situation, except one is big, one is small. What would you do? Would you be more apt to go with the breast reduction, or would you tell the other one, oh, get over it, you'll develop soon, whatever, but she's having some serious issues? What do you do?
I would go with the breast reduction, and I would try to comfort my unendowed daughter as much as I could.
Okay, why are you not going with the flat chest?
Because at their age, they grow differently, and if you give them the endowment that and they're not finished growing, I mean, that could seriously harm them.
Okay, all right, okay. So let's see what everyone else is saying. All children are not mean. I disagree. I didn't say all children were mean. I said children are mean, but not all children. So you're right. All children are not mean, but there are some that.
Yes,
okay.
There are some.
Okay, Shorty says, I've been bullied growing up. It didn't feel good at all. And then my kids got bullied and I didn't like it. Okay, so I've been bullied. So I'm trying to read this correctly. Are you saying that I've been a bully growing up, or you were bullied, Shorty? And then your kids were bullied and you didn't like it. Good question. How is it way different? See, I don't think there's a difference. I understand, Shelby. I understand what you're saying in terms of the developmental stage, whatever. But again, that same daughter is 21. She's still flat chested. She wants to get a boob job. Are you more in favor of it because she's older?
She's how old?
21. And I'm not saying 21 that she can do it, that she can make the decision on her own. I'm just saying, how would you feel about it? She's 21, but she's still the same size.
Well, like I said, that would have to be a decision that she makes.
But what if she came to you and she said, Mom, what do you think? I mean, she's just asking you for your advice.
Well, I guess I would have to agree with her. I mean, I was well endowed.
Okay.
So, I can't. And I threatened my husband lots of times that I'm going to get reducted. But, so in her position, I would definitely, if she's wanting it, she's adamant about getting augmentation done, then and she's knows the consequences, and she's ready. I would definitely support her in whatever she wanted to do.
Okay, all right. Kyle says, if I had a daughter, I'll defend them at all costs and have mama deal with that. Shorty says, I have a daughter. She's been bullied. I went to the school and told them. Oh yeah, you always got to go to the school. Dee says, because the flat chested girl can stuff her bra and not go under the knife, her problem can be put off under the daughter can make her own decisions. Yeah, but that stuff in the bra doesn't always work, Dee. Yep, true. Okay, I've been bullied. Okay. Hey, shy lady. Kyle says, then explain the 1950s to them. They didn't have the technology and they were healthy, but all mentally ill in a good fashion, all in good faith. Okay, Shorty says hi to shy lady. Okay, everyone, thanks for liking the show. Okay, so at what point then your child is a teenager, and I am going to go younger. Your child's a teenager. There's a medical decision. What medical decision do you think you would allow your child to make? And again, I'm sticking with the teenager, 13 to 17. What medical decision do you think you would allow your child to make if they were to disagree with you?
If they had the medical condition
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
knew
Mm-hmm.
the medical condition,
Mm-hmm.
and it's any, is it, are we still talking about the breast?
No, we're talking about anything. That's what I'm saying. What medical condition would you allow your child to make their decision on for whatever
Well, I
medical
mean,
condition?
if they know the pros and cons to it, it would definitely be whatever situation that they're in.
Okay. Do you guys believe in telling children their diagnosis?
I believe if they're 13 and older. Or
Okay.
no, let me take that back. It depends on the age, because the simple fact there are some very bright 7-year-olds out there.
Okay. Now D says it depends upon what it is, but D, why? I mean, when you say it depends. Give me a medical condition that you would not tell your child what it is. I mean, because I think it's kind of wrong that your child is going through all of these tests and pokes and prods, whatever, and they don't even know why it's happening, or you lied to them and told them, that it's something else. And is that going to affect them when they get older, when they find out that you lied to them, that they had this and you're telling them that it was this, how is that going to affect um your relationship later on? So Rena says, yes, I believe in telling the diagnosis. So do I. I definitely believe in telling the diagnosis. Kyle says, I tell them to look at their grandmother, wait until you're medically ready, because mentally ill pick you up. I will let them know, Shorty says. So, Shelby, is there a particular diagnosis that you would not tell? Hey, Jester, welcome. I came to your show yesterday, but you were gone. Gone. Did you start at oh, you know what? You start 7 your time. That's why. Never mind. I just answered my own question. Never mind. I'm like, it's 7 o'clock. Where is he? Okay. So,
I don't
oh, you
think
only
there's
did 45
any.
minutes. Okay, then I don't then okay, then my timetable was okay. Well, I hope you are feeling better and thanks for showing up today. Okay, so D says, is it life threatening? Okay, D, does the diagnosis have to be life threatening for you to tell your minor child what is wrong? Does it have to? I
One,
mean, does
just
that?
about some, in most instances, they could be life threatening.
Okay, so if it is life threatening, your child is in the hospital, hooked up to all these tubes. They don't know what is going on. You wouldn't tell them?
Oh yeah, yes, I'm the one that. Yes, if
Okay,
they're
all right,
at a
okay.
certain age. But like I said, there are some bright 7-year-olds out there that, hey, look, Mom, I know something's going on. Or hey, Dad, I know something's going on.
Okay, all right. Now, Charlotte says, if it's a medical decision necessary to save, improve their life, and they're old enough to understand, I would tell my child. Okay, so I have another question for you. And again, this one, I do not mean to offend anyone. I'm just trying to have a discussion. So I'm just going into the next phase of my questiondom. Your child wants to have a sex change. Would you consider it? Would you totally shut it down? Would you listen to both? Would you listen to their side? Um, some parents allow it, some parents don't. What would you do?
I do not allow that.
Okay. Is your not allowing it because of medical reasons, because of their age, because of religious reasons?
Religious reasons.
Okay, all right. Because mine is religious reasons for saying no. Welcome, Power Girl. So okay. Let's see. Kyle says, watch call MD House, watch all seasons. I've never heard of that. Yes, if they are hooked up to a million tubes, yes, I tell them. Okay. Don't talk to me until I'm ready to talk. Until you're ready to talk, Kyle?
Is that what they're saying to their child?
That's what I'm asking you. Are you saying that to your child? Don't talk to me until I'm ready to talk? Okay, and Marcos, I'm sorry, Marcos, I didn't see you come into the room. So welcome. I apologize. I'm usually not rude like that, so please forgive me. Let's see. Never is a biological violation. Okay, the kid isn't mature enough to decide collectively. What I don't, Kyle, I'm not understanding that. What do you mean by collectively? So if they want to talk to you and they really want to talk to you about it, you wouldn't talk to them until you're ready to talk. Dose, welcome. So
I guess in a way they're thinking I've got to grasp this before I can tell the child.
Okay.
Maybe that's what they're saying.
Now, okay, but we're talking about a sex change.
Oh, well,
so that's why I'm asking, Kyle, are you saying don't talk to me until I'm ready to talk about that? No, because I'll tell them I love them, period, but I'm not ready. You're not okay, but
that I can understand.
Okay, but what if they keep pushing? I mean, what if you have that pushy child?
It's still the answer is no.
Okay, all right. D says sex change kid needs to be an adult to make own decisions. I would learn as much as possible about it. Oh, okay. So then here's my next question. So your minor is having surgery for whatever reason. Like I said, they were playing football, tennis, whatever. They got hurt. They were running for the bus. Tripped over their foot, busted their ankle. They need surgery, whatever. What would you do if your child either did want the surgery, did not want the surgery? You are saying one thing, your spouse or your significant other or the child's other parent, I just put it like that, the child's other parent is saying something else. So let's say the child's other parent is agreeing with what the minor wants and you're not. What would you do?
Okay, they have failed and done what now?
The child needs surgery.
Uh-huh.
Your child either wants it or does not, but your child's other parent is agreeing with the child. They're taking the side of the child. They're opposite of what you want. They are siding with your child. What do you do?
I would definitely have the doctor come in and make their recommendation on it.
Okay, but you're still in different camps. You're still on this side of the road and they're on the other side. What do you do?
That's a hard question.
So I
suppose that you're taking that the spouse. Well, no, they're together.
Okay.
On that note, I've never really had that problem because I've always been the one to make that decision. My husband's always whatever you think.
Okay. All right. I do want to go back to the sex change for a minute because Brina said something. She says allowing a child to get a sex change is child abuse. They're not developed.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. And Marco says still no, any parent that allows minor to get a sex change should be in prison. Wow. Kyle says the sex change can kill them medically in every way. Did you know there's a chemical imbalance that causes health risks? Shorty says, I won't allow it. Doss says, any doctor that performs a sex change on a child should be put in prison. D says, ask the other parent why and what is their problem. Okay. You're talking about if they're siding with the minor. Okay. The gender transition still a biological violation even without the surgery. Bone blood disorders and sexual risk too. Okay. I just want to address the sex change for a moment. On Friendly Differences, Bob and I did a show, which was what was it called? It was called what was it called? It was called Transgender: A Story of Transition. And we did have a transgender female on, and she's been on our show a second time where we were just chatting, whatever. And I liked her. I liked her a lot. And after listening to her and telling her entire story and how she got to where she is, it changed my mind. However, she did call me out because she said that I had made a comment. She had listened to one show that we were talking about, and the subject came up, and I had made a comment about that we are made in God's image, and she wanted me to explain that, and I just said basically that God made man, God made woman, and to me it's like telling God that He made a mistake, and she understood that, but I will say that from having her on the show, and we liked her so much that we just wanted her to come back and just chat. So you guys, if you guys can check that show out, it made me look at transgender in a completely different way. And the way, and like I said, the way she explained it, and she was very, very open. I mean, she let us ask her a lot of different questions, and I do believe Michael Key was on that show too. But it have a lot of respect for her. So I'm just putting in my own two cents, not trying to change anyone's mind. I'm just throwing that out there. Okay, God don't make mistakes. God makes trials and tribulations. Kyle, I don't even think God makes trials and tribulations. Man does that. All the trials and tribulations we have is our own doing. But that show's coming up. Okay, D says it changed your mind about the timing of the sex change. 18. Yes. We'll play this. It didn't change my mind because I did say that I was still. I think it shouldn't even be over 18. I think that it should be older. But when she explained why, in terms of having that sex change when you're younger as opposed to older, I understood where she was coming from. So all I can say to you guys is if you have a chance, go. It's on YouTube on the Friendly Differences podcast. And again, the show is called Transgender: A Story of Transition. And again, just the way she explained, I mean, we were asking her all kinds of questions. I mean, she was very, very open, and she answered them all. I mean, we talked about a lot of different things. We talked about Title IX. We talked about a lot of different things, but in terms of the age, what have you, it gave me better insight. It gave me better insight as to why some people want it at such a young age. Okay, Brina says, I definitely going to watch. I need to know the why. Yeah. So, and I prefer you to hear it directly from her as instead of me paraphrasing whatever. But yeah. So, Crucible, welcome. Sorry, I didn't see you pop in. Welcome. Um, so again, so is there any way that you guys would change your mind on if your child wanted a sex change at a younger age? I mean, is there anything that could change your mind or make you reconsider?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Not in my case.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I mean, I'll go and listen to this story, but I mean, it's a religious thing for me.
Okay.
I
Okay.
just can't.
No, I
I
I
just
I
can't.
I, I get it. Again, I'm just doing a show here. So I'm just
Yeah,
asking,
I understand.
just asking the questions, So and when it comes, but one thing that I will say, and I said this at the beginning of the show, and a lot of you guys probably didn't hear it, but I am one who believes that your children should have a voice. Yes, we are their parents. Yes, we're supposed to tell them, you can do this, you can't do this, whatever. But I do believe children should have a voice, And going back to yesterday's show, um, uh, you know, um, should your child have to kiss grandma if they are adamant and they don't want to? No, I don't think so. Um, I think a lot of times we assume that just because children are children, that they don't know any better. But sometimes they know better than us. And when it comes to medical decisions, if your child is adamant, even if you're still going to say no, I think you should give them the courtesy, and I'm even going to say the respect to listen to them, because they may say something that may make us go, I hadn't thought about that. Even if the answer is still no, at least give them the courtesy of at least listening. So
That's true. That's very true.
so even though I do believe, and I'm going to ask, because I have a couple more minutes before I end the show, but I want to ask the guys this, okay? And Crucible is here. Jester, I don't think you were here to weigh in on this, and Marcos, I think you popped in a little later. Again, for your daughter, I'm going back to the breast reduction. Your daughter is coming home, and again, between I'm gonna say she's 13 years old. Your daughter's coming home, crying every day, doesn't want to go to school in the morning because she's being teased relentlessly because she has big breasts. She wants a breast reduction. Would you allow her to have it? Anybody? Any of the men want to? I'm saying she is 13 years old. And there are some girls out there who are very developed at the age of 13. Crucible, welcome.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, that's the deal breaker for me. 13 is just too young. I understand what it's like to be 13 and have people making fun of you or whatnot. I went through that a little bit, probably not to the extent that a 13-year-old girl with very large breasts would at that age. But I think that's the time when as your role as a parent just really, really is critical, because now she needs some words of wisdom. She needs perspective, and she needs an eye towards the future. It's not always going to be like this. And I would keep an open mind with her to say, at some point, if you still feel this way, you can get breast reduction. This is not a no forever. This is a no for right now, and this is not going to be like this all the time. And then you just kind of take your chances. But 13, nah, that's too young.
Okay, so I'm going to ask the same question that I put out there before. Again, your daughter is coming home, and she's miserable every single day, and you see this, are you just, is it still going to be no, 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 no? You know, and some people said in the chat, whatever, that if it gets to the point where she wants to harm herself, and I said, why does it have to get to that point? So are you willing to allow your child, and she's not having a hissy fit or anything, she's just coming home, she's being teased, and from her other friends, that she's having a really hard time. It starts to affect her grades. She may start to shut down at home. Are you still saying no? Crucible.
Yes, because where do you draw the line? If you're going to turn those kinds of decisions over to a 13-year-old, and that's a pretty big decision, what other ones would you or would you not turn over to a 13-year-old?
I'm not saying you're turning it over. I'm just saying, are you just totally? I mean, you're saying that she's too young at 13. Okay, she's 16.
Still too young. She's a minor.
So your whole thing is she's a minor. So when she turned 18, then she can go do whatever she wants. So if she is coming to you and she's 17 on Tuesday and she's going to be 18 on Wednesday, is that the only difference, is the fact that she'll no longer be a minor?
Yes, legally she can make her own decisions, and I have no say in it anymore. So that's how I would draw that line, because there's a long list of decisions that kids, even over the age of 18, plenty of adults make mistakes, but there's a long list of things that children in that age group should not be making decisions on. And if you let them open the door to one decision, then you're going to have a battle on your hands for everything else. So I would wait until they're legal, and then it's up to them.
I don't think that you're necessarily going to have a battle if you.
Well, you create an air of permissiveness that I've got more say in this thing than my friends do at home, or that maybe feels right to me. So kids kind of know where the line should be drawn, and they wait for their parents to draw them. So I'm not saying that you have to open the door to everything, but you're kind of creating an air of permissiveness there that I don't know is necessarily healthy.
Okay. All right. Crazy Cal said it's always going to be there, right? Cal says he explained that it's always going to be there. Marco says she's not mature. I wouldn't agree until 21 years old. Well, if she's 18, then that kind of goes out the window. But I get it. You're saying 21. Okay. All right. I wanted to hear what the men say. So you guys are pretty much agreeing with what a lot of the women are saying, except me. That's okay. That's okay. I mean, my whole thing is this, that children today, and you can say, oh, but if you talk to your child, oh, but if you're open and if you do this, you do that, then they'll come to you, they'll do this, they'll do that. Not all the time. And we have seen where, some parents, they have these children where they have these wonderful relationships and they're being bullied, whatever. And then, they said, it's not always going to be this way. And they come home and they're not a lot, whatever, but still, your child you come home one day and your child is there, but they're not there. So, but anyway, I asked the question. You all gave me your answer, so thank you. Minnesota, thank you very much for the gift. Let's see. Kyle says, when you're 18 and out of the house, you can do whatever you want. Okay, and Dee wants to know, have you ever seen the show I Am Jazz on TLC? Yes, I watched a few episodes. I did not like it, so I do not watch it. Let's see. Kyle says, good Crucible. Dee says, Salad, that show I Am Jazz puts more light on the reasoning. Yes, it does. Let's see. Crucible Father of the Year. See. Now that's crazy talk. Much love, Crucible. Okay, right back at you. Okay, so Kyle is really agreeing with Crucible. Okay, all right. So, guys, that is my show for today. And again, if you can, check out transgender um, show of transition. I'm sorry, I'm getting my words jumbled up. On the Friendly Differences podcast, and you will see. I'm sorry, transgender, a story of transition. That's what it is. And you will see what I meant when I said that I understood and I had a completely different view on a lot of things that I thought in terms of transgender. So, guys, with that, Shelby, I'll start with Crucible. Crucible, do you have any last words, or you wanna say anything?
No, I came in late, but it was a really good conversation. It's a very interesting dilemma in terms of where you do draw the line. And I'm kind of an absolutist. You can pick your spots and let them do some things at a younger age, but by and large, like I said earlier, they look to you to create the boundaries. And I think that if you stick to that kind of 18 years old mantra, I think you'll be better off. But I do agree with you, Solid, about giving your kids a voice, at least giving them the platform to have the conversation, so they get used to a back and forth. They get used to taking in information, and they get used to drawing conclusions. Drawing conclusions is not the same as making a decision, because you're not going to let them make the decision. But giving them a voice, I think is very important.
Okay, Shelby, you want to have any last words?
I kind of agree with Crucible. I think that giving them a voice is a good thing. Having them weigh in on every decision that you make within their medical care is a good thing, to an extent. But I also think that, you know, waiting to a certain age is also sometimes a mistake.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, with that, guys, I appreciate you guys being here. And Shelby, I am just tickled. I mean, 2 days in a row, you were the first one up here to talk. I'm just tickled pink.
Whatever.
But thank you for coming up. And Crucible, thank you for popping on. And Jester, I hope you are feeling better. So everyone, again, thank you so much. I do appreciate you guys coming. And tomorrow, I can't remember when I posted, but I have another show tomorrow. And my show Thursday is not posted because I'm kind of going back and forth because like I said, Thursdays I try to have fun shows, and I'm kind of at a dilemma. I'm doing eeny, meeny, miny, mo on the topic, but it will be posted. But anyway, guys, thank you so much, and enjoy your day, evening, wherever you are in the rest of the world. Bye, and go where the wind takes you. So, D, Power Girl, Jester, Marcos, thank you for coming. Juju, Kyle, Brina, Minnesota, Frankie, Shelby, Dose was here, Shorty, thank you, and Miss Brina. I know I missed somebody. Shy Lady. Did I say Juju? If so, I'm saying Juju again. Juju. That could be a song. We can get a song out of Juju. I know we can. Oh, and the only crazy lady was here. So, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. I really, really do.